Welcome to Learn Commerce PU online classes. Don't forget to like our video and subscribe our YouTube channel for all the updates.
Welcome to our first PU Computer Science online classes. Now, in today's class, we are going to learn some important library functions or called as the library or built-in functions. As we know that in last class, we already learned some important concept from introduction to C++, the concept or structure of C++ program, how to write the C++ program. First of all, we need to give importance to which point, maybe the comment or documentation section, linker section, definition section and global declaration section, main function, or we can say about our variable declaration section and braces, that is called as the set of lower brackets here, and lastly we can say about our statement execution or executable statement section. And we already know some important concept of cout function statement as well as the sin function statement, correct? No? So in last class we studied each and everything, that is the important concept of our C++ or introduction to C++. Now let's, in today's class we are going to learn some important concept, that is about our hash include directives. Okay, the hash include directive. Now what about the hash include directive? As we know that the preprocessor directive only called as the hash include directive. So what are the preprocessor directive, or some example for our hash include directives are maybe the hash include iostream.h, or maybe the hash include math.h here, hash include ctype.h, hash include string.h here. So all are the, or the hash include ctype.h. So all are the example of the hash include directives. Clear this point here? So we can say that. Now let's, the first directive, the name of the first directive, that is called as the hash include iostream.h. Okay, the first directive, the first preprocessor directive, or simply we can call as the hash include directives here. So the hash include directive is called as the iostream.h. Now let's, the first point about our the importance of our iostream.h. Now we know that the iostream.h or hash include directive instructs the compiler. As we know that whatever is that, maybe the processing, maybe the writing of the program, execution of the program, everything that is done by our compiler. As we know the meaning of the compiler, it is a software, and such compiler is using to convert from source program to the object program. Now the meaning of the source program, the program created by the user, the program write by the user here, it is called as the source program, and later what such program going to convert into the machine level language, correct? No? And such one is called as the object program. So whatever is that, the conversion that is from our source program to the object program is done by the compiler. So compiler is the software. So we can say that the hash include directive, the example is the iostream.h, or maybe any type of the directive instruct the compiler, okay, here to read and include the another file in the current file. That means maybe if any program going to write, such program going to input or read such program here, and later include such file in our one directory here, maybe in our current directory. So clear this point here? So we can say that our compiler compiles the entire code here. Whatever the program you are writing, maybe the lengthy program, maybe the 6 to 7 line program, or maybe many lines program here. So whatever the program, or the if the program you are going to write, each and every line of the program just compiled by the compiler. Clear this point here? The compiler compiles the entire code in this case here, not only read the program here or include the program as well as the duty of the compiler to compile the entire code. Clear this point here? And maybe we can say that the header file may be included in one of the two ways. So the first way is called as the how to write the header file. So now header file annu yav tara program alli ನಾವು ತಕೊಳ್ಳಬಹುದು. Clear this point here? So we can say that the header file we can include in the program in one of the two ways. The two ways are the first one is we can write as the hash include, then opening of the angle bracket. Okay, in this manner we need to open the angle bracket here, and later words we need to write iostream.h and closing of the angle bracket. Clear this point here? Opening of the angle bracket and closing of the angle bracket. Otherwise you can write in other way like, or the maybe the hash include opening of the double quotation iostream.h closing of the double quotation. Now what's the difference to our first hash include angle bracket iostream.h and the second example hash include opening of the double quotation iostream.h here and closing of the double quotation. So we can say that the first point, that is the header file in angle bracket, means that the file reside in standard include directory. Clear this point here? Two type of the directories are there here. Sometime we are going to include or reside the file or including the file in directly like our standard directory, and sometimes such file going to reside in the directory like our current directory. Clear this point here? So we can say that in case ಯಾವಾಗ ನೀವು ಆ ಹೆಡರ್ ಫೈಲ್ ಅನ್ನು ಆಂಗಲ್ ಬ್ರಾಕೆಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನೀವು ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀರಿ, ಆಗ ಆ ಫೈಲ್ ಎಲ್ಲಿ ಹೋಗಿ ಆಡ್ ಆಗ್ತದೆ, ಇಟ್ ಗೋಯಿಂಗ್ ಟು ರಿಸೈಡ್, ಇಟ್ ಗೋಯಿಂಗ್ ಟು ಸ್ಟೋರ್ ಇನ್ ಅವರ್ standard include directory or the standard directory here. But in case the header file in double bracket or double quote means that the file reside in the current directory. So this is the important meaning or the important point about our hash include iostream.h here. So clear the meaning? That means mostly we are going to write such a hash include iostream.h just by using the angle bracket only. Now we are not going to use by using the double quotation. Clear this point here? In most of the time we using such a hash include by using the angle bracket, and we know that what's the difference to our angle as well as the double quotation. Correct no here? Okay, now after completing some of the importance of the iostream.h here, now let's some of our library functions. Okay here, the library function. Now I am in the concept of the library function. So such library function is also calling as the our built-in function in C++. Okay, some of the functions we are going to build, such function is called as the, or to write the program, to complete the program, to execute the program, such one is called as the built-in functions in C++ and also called as the library function. Now let's, what's the use of the library function, why we need to use in our library function in our C++ program here. So here we can say that our library function, or in this case here our built-in function. So it is a function, and such function defined by our C++ programming language. Clear this point here? That means it is many of the functions are there, and such function is defined by our C++ programming language. But why they define such a C++ programming language? Because that save the programming time. Just to save our programming time, we need to use all those function in our program. Depend on the variable, depend on the function, we are going to take the variables. So clear this point here? So all these functions include mathematical function, or maybe character function, string function here, console input output function, and some general standard library function. So clear this point here? ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗಿರಬೇಕು ನಾವು ಫಂಕ್ಷನ್ ಅನ್ನು ಯಾಕೆ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೇವೆ, ಯಾಕೆಂದ್ರೆ ಆ ಫಂಕ್ಷನ್ ಅನ್ನು ಡಿಫೈನ್ ಮಾಡಿದವರು ಯಾರು, C++ ಕಂಪೈಲರ್. ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್ ನೋ? And why they defining or define the C++ or all those functions, we know that just to save the programming time here. So some of the built-in function, or we can say that the library function functions are here, maybe the mathematical function or maybe our character function, string function here, console input output function, and lastly we can say that some general standard library functions. Okay, now we are going to discuss one by one all those functions here. So the first function name I want to select as the mathematical function. Clear this point here, the mathematical function here. So we can say that some of the mathematical function. So ಯಾವುದೇ ಒಂದು mathematical function ನೀವು ಪ್ರೋಗ್ರಾಮ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಯಾವ ಹೆಡರ್ ಫೈಲ್ ನಮಗೆ ಬೇಕಾಗ್ತದೆ. So we can say that some of the mathematical functions are when you are going to use or present or require in the programming, sure we need to use the header file. The header file name is the math.h. Clear this point here, and how we are going to write such a header file in the program. Hash include, then opening of the angle bracket, math.h, closing of the angle bracket here. So ಅರ್ಥ ಆಯ್ತಾ ಎಲ್ಲರಿಗೆ? ಯಾವಾಗ ನೀವು ಮ್ಯಾಥಮೆಟಿಕಲ್ ಫಂಕ್ಷನ್ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀರಿ ಪ್ರೋಗ್ರಾಮ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ, ಯಾವುದೇ ಒಂದು ಪ್ರೋಗ್ರಾಮ್ ಡೆವಲಪ್ ಮಾಡುವಾಗ, ಬಿಲ್ಡ್ ಅಪ್ ಮಾಡುವಾಗ ಆಗ ಒಂದು ಫಂಕ್ಷನ್ ಯೂಸ್ ಆಗ್ತದೆ. ಸೊ ನೇಮ್ ಆಫ್ ದಿ ಫಂಕ್ಷನ್ is called as the math.h here. Now last, some of the or the following are the list of the math.h header file list. Clear this one here. So first of all, in first column I want to write as the functions here, and the second column shows the meaning of the function. Clear this point here. So here now some of the mathematical function, as we know that if you are using such a function, then sure we need to present the header file math.h here. So the first mathematical function is the our sine of an angle x. Clear this point here. If you are using the sine of an angle x, then sure we need the header file math.h. Clear this point here. And later next one, the second function we can say as the cosine of an angle x here. When you are using the cos, okay, the cos of x here or the cosine of an angle x, sure we need to use the header file math.h. And also we can say that some other functions like our tan of x, that is called as the tangent of an angle x here. So clear this point, all are the mathematical functions. Okay here. And the exponential function of the x here, maybe if you are using the exponent number here or the exponential function of x, then sure the header file math.h going to use. And later maybe the functions like our log of x, that is called as the logarithm of x here. Okay, the logarithm of the x here. And what about the sqrt? What's the full form of the sqrt? That is called as the square root of number x here. Maybe 2 to the power of, maybe we can say that the square root, as we know that in this case here. So we can say in case of the square root maybe 6, the square root of 6, that is equal to 36. 6 into 6, correct? Not the double, we are going to make the multiplication. So we can say that in case if you are using the function, the function name is the square root, then sure the mathematical function like header file like math.h going to use. So we can say that the square root of x here, and maybe the opening of the parenthesis, x comma y, closing of the parenthesis, that is called as the, we can say that the x raised to the power y, 2 to the power of 3. Clear this point here. So we can say that what's the value of 2 to the power of 3? 2 into 2 into 2. So that means we'll get the answer as the 8. Clear this point here, the answer as the 8. And later next one, abs of x, that is called as the absolute value of the integer number x. Clear this point here, integer number, as we know the meaning of the integer number, whole number without any fractional part. Adralli 10, 20, 200, 1000, maybe the 10,000 anta number ella whole number annu matra use ಮಾಡ್ತೇವೆ. So we can say that if you are using the functions like our abs function here, that is called as the absolute value of the integer number x here, or maybe if you are using the fabs of x, fabs, okay, of x here, that means we can say that the absolute value of the real number of x here. The real number means the fractional point. Clear this one, the real point is called as the fractional point. In case if you are using any mathematical function, then sure we need to use the header file. The header file is the math.h. So some of the mathematical functions are maybe the sine sine of an angle x, cosine of an angle x, exponential function, correct na kya, square root of the number x here, maybe the x raised to the power of x, in this case absolute value of the integer number x, or maybe the we can say the absolute value of the real number of x here, or the logarithm number, correct no? So in case if you are using, so such function is called as the mathematical functions here. Okay, now after completing the first library function or called as the built-in function here, let's the second point I want to use as the general purpose standard library functions. Clear this point here? The general purpose standard library function. So some of the functions are called as the general purpose library function. So our function is used madidre, or we can say that such function, these are the function and such function defined by C++ compiler to save the programming time here. So some general purpose library functions are the randomize of 0, random of n here, etoi of x and etoi of n. Clear this point here? So all are called as the function, and such function just belongs to our general purpose standard library function. So if you are using such function, then sure we need to use the header file. The header file is the hash include opening of the angle bracket, then later next one is about our stdlib.h. Clear this point here? The full form of the or the spelling of the stdlib, stdlib. Clear? ನಾನು std lib ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೇನೆ. std, that is the stdlib. Clear? It is not a lib. I am not telling the libs, okay? Lib in this case here, the full form is called as the standard library. Clear this point here? So we can say that if you are using the general purpose function here or general purpose standard library function, so we need to use the header file. The header file is the stdlib, full form of the stdlib, standard library function. So now let's sum of the function and their meaning. The first function is the randomize of 0. So why we using the randomize of 0? So we can say that it initializes and generator with a random number. Maybe nange yaude ಒಂದು number generate ಮಾಡಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಇದೆ. Maybe the number is the maybe we can say that the 5. Maybe the number is the 10 here. So I want to generate the number. First of all we need to initialize the number. Correct no here? So first of all just only we can say that the randomize of 0 is using to initialize us. Initializes ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ನಮಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಿದೆ. Maybe the a is equal to 10. That means we initializing some value to the a, that the value is the 10 here. So we can say that the randomize of 0 is using to initialize us and generator with a random number here. And later the second point is the random of n here. So what about the random of n? That means it generates with a random number that is between 0 to n minus 1. Clear this point here? 0 to n minus 1. ಹಾಗಾದ್ರೆ 0 to 9 0 to 10 ವರೆಗೆ ನನಗೆ ಡಿಸ್ಪ್ಲೇ ಮಾಡಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಇದೆ. Clear this point? Now we are in the second concept, random of n. That means why we using the random of n? That means we can say that it generates the random number between 0 to n minus 1. Maybe the 0 as it is, n means 10, that means it going to display the value that is from 0 to 9. Clear this point? Why? Because here we started the value is the 0 here. So 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Clear? Totally 10 values. So should remember it going to start from the value 0. So till where it going to display the value that is from our 0 to 9. Clear? N minus 1, if n value is equal to 10, 10 minus 1, that is equal to 9. So we can write as the 0 to 9 in this case here. So clear this point here? Okay. And later next one is the ATOI of x. Okay, s here, ATOI of s. That means such function is using to convert any string to a number. ಯಾವುದೇ ಒಂದು string ಇಂದ number ಗೆ display ಆಗ್ತದೆ. Did you remember? I already explained the ASCII value. Correct? No, the capital letter of the ASCII value A to Z 65 to 90. Correct? Yeah, and the small letter A to Z 97 to 122 here, or maybe we can say that if you are using any number, that means 0 to 9, it going to start the number from 48 to the 57. So maybe in case if you are using the value here, that means sure it going to display in a number wise. Clear this point? A value is equal to 65. Maybe this small letter here, that means it providing the number as the 97. So we can say that this function ATOI of S function is using to convert from string to a number. So it going to convert from a string to a number, character to a number here, and later the next function ITOA of N, ITOA of N, and such function is using to convert from number to a string. Clear this point here? ಅದು ನಮ್ಮ ನಂಬರ್ ಇಂದ ಸ್ಟ್ರಿಂಗ್ ಗೆ ಕನ್ವರ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತದೆ. ಹಾಗಾದ್ರೆ ಎಲ್ಲಾದ್ರೂ ನಾವು 65 ಅಂತ ಕೊಟ್ರೆ ಆಗ ಅದು ಕನ್ವರ್ಷನ್ ಯಾವುದಕ್ಕೆ ಬರ್ತದೆ? A ಗೆ ಬರ್ತದೆ. Clear this point here? So depend on the value. We know that it is not we are going to write the value here. It depend, it's a ASCII values here. So depend on the ASCII rules. We just converting the number, that is from our string to a number and number to a string. So first of all ATOI ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ಸ್ಟ್ರಿಂಗ್ ಇಂದ ನಂಬರ್ ಗೆ ಕನ್ವರ್ಟ್ ಆಗ್ತದೆ. ITOA ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ನಂಬರ್ ಇಂದ ಸ್ಟ್ರಿಂಗ್ ಗೆ ಕನ್ವರ್ಟ್ ಆಗ್ತದೆ. So all are the function that is called as the general purpose standard library function, and we need the header file stdlib.h. After completing some of the functions, the first function is the library function, that is called as the mathematical function, as we know that the header file math.h going to use. And the second function name is the general purpose standard library function, as we know that such function require the header file. The header file is the stdlib.h here. Some of the general purpose standard library functions are randomize of 0, random of n, and ATOI, that is called as atoi of x and itoi of n here. Now like that only some other function, the third important function, or that is called as the built-in function. The function name is the console input output function, CONSOLE, console input output function here. Now let's, what are the function going to join in our console input output function? As we know that the following are the list of some of the console input output function, and such console input output function require the header file. The header file is the stdio.h here. The full form of the std, that is called as the standard input output dot header file. Okay, the full form of the stdio, that is called as the standard input output dot header file here. Now let's the first function. The first function is the getChar function here, and the syntax is the ch is equal to getChar open close semicolon. Okay here, the first function name getChar here, and how to write the syntax of the getChar? Ch is equal to getChar open close semicolon. That means here we can say that what's the meaning of getChar here? So we can say that it accept a single character as a input. So single character only, maybe the one example A, maybe example or B, maybe example or Z, maybe example or C or D here. So we can say it accept the single character as a input until the carriage return. What do you mean by a carriage return? The meaning of the carriage return we can say as the enter key. Clear this one here? Until the enter key or carriage return, both are same, is entered or pressed here. So ಎಲ್ಲಿಯವರೆಗೆ ಅದು accept ಮಾಡ್ತದೆ. So ಎಷ್ಟು ವರ್ಡ್ ಅನ್ನು accept ಮಾಡ್ತದೆ, it not going to accept a many word. Clear this part here? Just only one word, single character here from the keyboard in this case here. And so we can say until the carriage return or enter key is pressed. So this is the meaning of the getChar, getting the character. Full form is called as. Clear this point? Okay, now we know the meaning of the getChar, that means get the single character from the standard input device. Now let's, what's the second function name? The name of the second function we can say as the putChar. Okay, here the putChar. So how to write the syntax? The syntax is the putChar of ch closing of the parenthesis semicolon. Clear this one here? As we know that the meaning of the get char is accepting single character from the standard input device until carriage return is entered. The meaning of the put char, we can say that here meaning of the put char is, so this function is using to display the single character. Clear this point here? To display ಯಾವುದು ಕ್ಯಾರೆಕ್ಟರ್ ನಾವು ಆಕ್ಸೆಪ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೇವೆ ಕೀಬೋರ್ಡ್ ಮುಖಾಂತರ ಆ ಕ್ಯಾರೆಕ್ಟರ್ ಅನ್ನು ಡಿಸ್ಪ್ಲೇ ಮಾಡಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಒಂದು ಫಂಕ್ಷನ್ ಯೂಸ್ ಆಗ್ತದೆ. ದಿ ನೇಮ್ ಆಫ್ ದಿ ಫಂಕ್ಷನ್ ಇಸ್ ಕಾಲ್ಡ್ ಆಸ್ ದಿ put char function. So this function is using to display the single character on the standard output device. Clear this point? Okay. Now later next one, the third function name is the gets function. ಯಾಕೆಂದ್ರೆ ನಮಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಿದೆ ಕಂಪ್ಯೂಟರ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಕೆಲವೊಮ್ಮೆ ನಾವು ಜಸ್ಟ್ ಸಿಂಗಲ್ ಕ್ಯಾರೆಕ್ಟರ್ ಅನ್ನು ಮಾತ್ರ ಎಂಟರ್ ಮಾಡುವುದಿಲ್ಲ, ಕೆಲವೊಮ್ಮೆ ನಮಗೆ ಲೈನ್ ಆಫ್ ಟೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಆರ್ ಎಂಟೈರ್ ಲೈನ್ ಆಫ್ ಟೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಆರ್ ಎಂಟೈರ್ ಲೈನ್ ಆಫ್ ಕ್ಯಾರೆಕ್ಟರ್ ಎಂಟರ್ ಮಾಡಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಇರ್ತದೆ. ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್? ನೋ ಮೇ ಬಿ ದಿ ಎಂಟೈರ್ ಲೈನ್ of character or entire line of text. One example that is your name. Clear this one? Maybe the name is the Christ King, or maybe the name is any, or maybe the student. If you are going to take, it is a entire line of a text character. Correct? No, maybe if you are taking yes, that means single character, but if you are writing students, it is a group of characters here. So we can say that such a group of character we can accept by using the functions like our gets function. Okay, gets gets function. And how to write this syntax? The syntax is the gets, opening of the parenthesis, name, closing of the parenthesis and the semicolon. ಅರ್ಥ ಆಯ್ತಾ? ಗೆಟ್ಸ್ ಫಂಕ್ಷನ್ ಅನ್ನು ಯಾಕೆ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೇವೆ? So we can say that the get function is using to input the entire line of text here from the standard input device, but we can say that add null character to the end of the string. Correct? No, maybe the student \0 and such one going to write by using the double quotation. So we can say that not just only accept the entire line of text, with that add the null character. Null character means zero character, the null character at the end of the string. So this is the purpose of the gets function here. Now what's the meaning of the puts function? Puts, P-U-T-S, don't go to write put. Okay, kya? Puts, you need to add yes with that. Kya? P-U-T-S. So now let's the function is the puts, opening of the parenthesis, name, closing of the parenthesis and the semicolon. So we can say that, so get is using to accept the entire line of text here. So what's the purpose of the puts? So we can say the function is used to display the string character on the standard output device. ಯಾವ ಕ್ಯಾರೆಕ್ಟರ್ ನಾವು ಆಕ್ಸೆಪ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೇವೆ ಗೆಟ್ ಫಂಕ್ಷನ್ ತಕೊಂಡು ಈಗ ಅದೇ ಕ್ಯಾರೆಕ್ಟರ್ ಅನ್ನು ನನಗೆ ಡಿಸ್ಪ್ಲೇ ಮಾಡಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಇದೆ. ಸೊ ನಾನು ಯಾವ ಫಂಕ್ಷನ್ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೇನೆ? ಪುಟ್ ಫಂಕ್ಷನ್. ಕ್ಲಿಯರ್ ದಿಸ್ ಒನ್ ಕ್ಯಾ? ಸೊ ಆಲ್ ಆರ್ ದಿ ಫಂಕ್ಷನ್ and such function are called as the console input output function. And if you are using all those function, we need the header file. Header file is the stdio, full form of the stdio, standard input output .h here. So clear? Okay, now let's the fourth function. The fourth function name is the character function. So what about the character function in this case here? So we can say that the meaning of the character. So character, that means any symbol or any constant here enclosed by apostrophe. So one example, ch is equal to open single quote, capital A or small a, any letter you are going to write, and closing of the single quote and semicolon. So this is the example of the character. So now we are going to write ch is equal to a and semicolon. Clear this one? Such character I enclosed by apostrophe only call as the single quote here. Okay, so when you are going to use the character function, maybe any symbol, any constant enclosed by apostrophe or single function, such is called as the character function. And such character function require the header file. Header file is the ctype.h here. The full form of this ctype, character type.h. Clear this point here? Character ctype.h. ಹೇಗೆ ನೀವು ಬರೀತೀರಿ? hash include, opening of the angle bracket, ctype.h, closing of the angle bracket. Now let's, what are the functions are going to use, or the list of the character function are, first one is the ಈಸ್ ಆಲ್ಫಾ ಆಫ್ ಸಿ. ಸೊ ಈಸ್ ಆಲ್ಫಾ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ಏನು ನಮಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಿದೆ. ಸೊ ನೋ ಸ್ಪೇಸ್, ಡೋಂಟ್ ಗೋ ಟು ಯೂಸ್ ದಿ ಸ್ಪೇಸ್ while going to write the ಈಸ್ ಆಲ್ಫಾ. ಟುಗೆದರ್ you need to write. Okay, kya ಈಸ್ ಆಲ್ಫಾ ಆಫ್ ಸಿ, that means it returns. Here return spelling ನಾನು RETURNS ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೇನೆ. ರಿಟರ್ನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತದೆ. Clear this point here. It returns, that means it returns an alphabet or the uppercase letter if C is a in this case here, that means it returns the true if C is an uppercase letter. ಯಾವಾಗ ಅದು ಟ್ರೂ ಡಿಸ್ಪ್ಲೇ ಮಾಡ್ತದೆ, ಯಾವಾಗ ನಮ್ಮ ಸಿ ಲೆಟರ್ ಅಪ್ಪರ್ ಕೇಸ್ ಆಗಿರ್ತದೆ. ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್ ನೋ? ಅಪ್ಪರ್ ಕೇಸ್ ಇದ್ರೆ ಅದು ಟ್ರೂ ರಿಟರ್ನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತದೆ. ಸೊ ಇಟ್ ರಿಟರ್ನ್ಸ್ ಟ್ರೂ ಇಫ್ ಸಿ ಇಸ್ ಆನ್ ಅಪ್ಪರ್ ಕೇಸ್ ಲೆಟರ್ ಹಿಯರ್. ಅದರ್ವೈಸ್ ಇಟ್ ರಿಟರ್ನ್ಸ್ ಫಾಲ್ಸ್ ಇಫ್ ಸಿ ಇಸ್ ಎ ಲೋವರ್ ಕೇಸ್ ಲೆಟರ್. ಕ್ಲಿಯರ್ ದಿಸ್ ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ ಹಿಯರ್. ಟ್ರೂ ಆಗಿರ್ತದೆ ಯಾವಾಗ ನಮ್ಮ ಸಿ ಅಪ್ಪರ್ ಕೇಸ್ ಲೆಟರ್ ಆಗಿರ್ತದೆ. And later next one, the second function name is called as the is digit of C. So what about the is digit of C? It is a function of the character function. So meaning we can say that it returns, okay, in this case true, but when it going to return the value as a true here, that means here when C is a digit and the digit that is from 0 to 9. Clear this one? So when you are going to write the digit that is from our 0 to 9, that means it's going to return the value as a true, otherwise it returns false. Clear this point? Artha aita ellarige? So this function that means belongs to the to display the value here, and the value need to display that is from 0 through 9 here, then only it going to return the value as the true, otherwise it return the value as the false here. And later next one is about our is all num, no space, should remember it here, is all num of C. Okay, so it returns true if C is a here digit that is from 0 to 9 or an alphabet letter, either the letter uppercase or lowercase, no any problem. So for those it return the value as true, otherwise it return the value as the false. ಸೊ ಮೇ ಬಿ ನೀವು ಡಿಜಿಟ್ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಅದು ಟ್ರೂ ಆಗಿರ್ತದೆ, ಮೇ ಬಿ ಅದು ಅಪ್ಪರ್ ಕೇಸ್ ಲೆಟರ್ ಆಗಿದ್ರೆ ಟ್ರೂ ಆಗಿರ್ತದೆ, ಲೋವರ್ ಕೇಸ್ ಲೆಟರ್ ಆಗಿದ್ರೆ ಟ್ರೂ ಆಗಿರ್ತದೆ, ಟ್ರೂ ರಿಸಲ್ಟ್ ಕೊಡ್ತದೆ. ಅದು ಬಿಟ್ಟು ನೀವು ಏನಾದರೂ ಆಪರೇಟರ್ ಆರ್ ಮೇ ಬಿ ದಿ ಕ್ವಶನ್ ಮಾರ್ಕ್, ಎನಿ ಟೈಪ್ ಆಫ್ ದಿ ಆಪರೇಟರ್ ಇಫ್ ಯು ಆರ್ ಗೋಯಿಂಗ್ ಟು ರೈಟ್, that means sure it going to or return the value as the false in this case. So clear the meaning of the is all num here. So this is the meaning of is all num. And later next one is the is lower of C. As we know that it returns true when it going to return the value as the true if C is a lower case letter. Clear this point here? Upper case ಬಂದ್ರೆ ಆಗ false ಅಂತ ರಿಸಲ್ಟ್ ಕೊಡ್ತದೆ. ಅದೇ ನಾವು C ಅನ್ನು ಲೋವರ್ ಕೇಸ್ ಆಗಿ ನಾವು ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ, okay, the character value if you are going to take in a lower case letter, then it going to return the value as the true value. Clear this point? Okay, now later next one is the next function is upper of C. So as we know that is lower of C means when it going to return the value as true when the C letter is a lower case letter. So like that only is upper of C means here when you are going to write, okay, when you are going to or it returns the C upper case letter or it returns the value as a true, true in this case if C is a upper case letter. Clear this one here? Upper case letter maybe the capital A, okay, or maybe here small letter A means true agi kantade namge, otherwise capital letter A means it belongs to our is upper of C. Okay here. And later next one is the two upper of C. What about the two upper? Some of the difference is there for is lower or maybe two lower and is upper, two upper. Some difference is there. Is lower ನಾನು ಏನು ಹೇಳಿದ್ದೇನೆ, it returns true value if C is a lower case letter. Is upper, it returns true value if C is a upper case letter. But in case of the two upper, that means it converts from lower case to the upper case. ಯಾವುದೇ ಒಂದು ಲೆಟರ್ ಅನ್ನು ನೀವು ಲೋವರ್ ಕೇಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ರೆ ಆ ಲೆಟರ್ ಅನ್ನು ಕನ್ವರ್ಟ್ ಯಾವುದಕ್ಕೆ ಮಾಡ್ತದೆ, ಅಪ್ಪರ್ ಕೇಸ್ ಲೆಟರ್ಗೆ. ಸೊ ವಿ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಸೇ ಇಟ್ ಕನ್ವರ್ಟ್ಸ್ ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಫ್ರಮ್ ಅವರ್ ಲೋವರ್ ಕೇಸ್ ಟು ದಿ ಅಪ್ಪರ್ ಕೇಸ್ ಹಿಯರ್. ಅಂಡ್ ಲಾಸ್ಟ್ಲಿ ವಿ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಸೇ ದಟ್ ದಿ ಟು ಲೋವರ್ ಆಫ್ C. ಸೊ ಇಟ್ ಕನ್ವರ್ಟ್ಸ್ from uppercase to the lower case. Okay, so this is the function, and this function, all those function are belong to the all those function are belong to the header file, or this function require the header file. Header file is the c type.h. ಹಾಗಾದ್ರೆ ಗೊತ್ತಾಯ್ತಲ್ಲ ಕ್ಯಾರೆಕ್ಟರ್ ಫಂಕ್ಷನ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾವುದೆಲ್ಲ ಫಂಕ್ಷನ್, ಸಮ್ ಆಫ್ ದಿ ಲಿಸ್ಟ್ ಆಫ್ ದಿ ಕ್ಯಾರೆಕ್ಟರ್ ಫಂಕ್ಷನ್ ವಿ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಸೇ ಆಸ್ ದಿ our is digit here, or maybe is alpha, or we can say that here is all num, is lower, is upper to lower to upper here. So all are the function are called as the character functions. Okay, now after completing the character function, the next function is the string function. Now that means we completed some many functions, correct? No, the built-in function in C++ or the library function. The first function is the mathematical function, second function is the general purpose standard library function. ಕೆಲವೊಂದು ಫಂಕ್ಷನ್ ಇದೆ, ನಾನು ಆಲ್ರೆಡಿ ಹೇಳಿದ್ದೇನೆ ಯಾವ ಹೆಡರ್ ಫೈಲ್ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. ಕನ್ಸೋಲ್ ಫಂಕ್ಷನ್, ಇನ್ಪುಟ್ ಔಟ್ಪುಟ್ ಫಂಕ್ಷನ್, ಜಸ್ಟ್ ಓನ್ಲಿ ವಿ ಕಂಪ್ಲೀಟೆಡ್ here, and later I selected the character function. Now we are in the concept. I am going to select the function. The function name is the string function. Okay, ಕ್ಯಾರೆಕ್ಟರ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ಸಿಂಗಲ್ ಕ್ಯಾರೆಕ್ಟರ್ ಮಾತ್ರ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡಲಿಕ್ಕೆ. ಬಟ್ ವಾಟ್ ಅಬೌಟ್ ದಿ ಸ್ಟ್ರಿಂಗ್ ಫಂಕ್ಷನ್? ಸ್ಟ್ರಿಂಗ್ ಇನ್ ಅ ಮೀನಿಂಗ್, ಆರ್ ವಾಟ್ಸ್ ದಿ ಮೀನಿಂಗ್ ಆಫ್ ದಿ ಸ್ಟ್ರಿಂಗ್? String means it is a sequence of character, and such character enclosed by double quote. Correct? No? One example we can say that Christ. So CHRIST, here not just only one letter is there, here number of letter, group of letters are there here. Maybe the Christ, or we can take as the Christ space king. Okay, space means I am using this space, I am not going to write it as a space here. So Christ king, so it is also called as the group of character, that is equal to the sequence of character, or we can say as the our string character, group of character. Now let's, if you are using the string function, what's the header file we need to use? The header file name is the string.h. clear this part here? ಹೇಗೆ ನೀವು ಬರೀತೀರಿ? hash include opening of the angle bracket, string.h closing of the angle bracket here. So the first function of the string function, the name of the function is called as the stirling of string. Okay, ನಾನು ಹೇಗೆ ಬರ್ತಿದ್ದೇನೆ? STRLEN opening of the parenthesis, string closing of the parenthesis. Okay, now what's the purpose of this stirling of string here? So we can say that it gives the number of characters, okay, here present in a string, and very important note, including the spaces and excluding the null character. ಅರ್ಥ ಆಯ್ತಾ ನಾನು ಏನು ಹೇಳಿದ್ದೇನೆ? ಸೊ ಸ್ಟಿಲ್ ಇನ್ ಯಾಕೆ ಯೂಸ್ ಆಗ್ತದೆ? ಯಾಕೆಂದ್ರೆ ಯಾವುದೇ ಕ್ಯಾರೆಕ್ಟರ್, ಸೊ ಒನ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ ಐ ವಾಂಟ್ ಟು ಸೇ ಹಿಯರ್ ಲೆಂತ್ ಈಸ್ ಈಕ್ವಲ್ ಟು, ದಟ್ ಮೀನ್ಸ್ ಐ ವಾಂಟ್ ಟು ಫೈಂಡ್ ಔಟ್ ವಾಟ್ಸ್ ದಿ ಸೈಜ್ ಆಫ್ ದಿ ಕ್ಯಾರೆಕ್ಟರ್ ಇನ್ ಎ ಸ್ಟ್ರಿಂಗ್, ಆರ್ ದಿ ಲೆಂತ್ ಆಫ್ ದಿ ಕ್ಯಾರೆಕ್ಟರ್. ಸೊ ಐ ಆಮ್ ಯೂಸಿಂಗ್ ಆಸ್ ದಿ ಸ್ಟಿರ್ಲಿನ್ ಆಫ್ ಕಂಪ್ಯೂಟರ್. ಓಕೆ, ಸ್ಟ್ರಿಂಗಿನ ಬದಲಿಗೆ ನಾನು ಕಂಪ್ಯೂಟರ್ ಅನ್ನು ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೇನೆ. ಸೊ ಆ ಕಂಪ್ಯೂಟರ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಟೋಟಲ್ ಆಗಿ ಎಷ್ಟು ಕ್ಯಾರೆಕ್ಟರ್, ಎಷ್ಟು ಲೆಟರ್ಸ್ ಇದೆ? ಸೊ ವೆನ್ ಯು ಆರ್ ಗೋಯಿಂಗ್ ಟು ಕೌಂಟ್ COMPUTER, so total length is equal to 8. Clear this point here? So the length is equal to 8. So we can say that when you are going to find out the length or number of characters present in a string, then we using the function name is the stirling of string here. It gives number of characters. Okay, now with that only I said including the spaces. So spaces means ಎಲ್ಲಾದ್ರೂ ನೀವು ಕಂಪ್ಯೂಟರ್ ನಂತರ one space ಬಿಟ್ಟು one ಅಂತ ಕೊಡ್ತೀರಿ. Clear this one here? After leaving some one space, later words you are going to write the number as 1. That means how it going to count? Now what about the length? Just only computer ಬರ್ದ್ರೆ length is equal to 8. But if you are using computer, one space is there in between, later words you are going to write 1. That means total we know that computer it have 8, correct? No, 8 length. In this case the length of the letter is 8 here. So we can say that space, that is the 9, and 1, that is the 10. So including the spaces but excluding the null character. So space annu include ಮಾಡ್ತದೆ, ಆದ್ರೆ null character annu exclude ಮಾಡಿ ಬರ್ತದೆ. It not going to, it doesn't count the or it does not count the use of null character. Clear this point here? So we can say that this is the uses of the stirling of string. So clear the meaning of this stirling of string here. And later next one is about our stircat, opening of the parenthesis, string 1 comma string 2 closing of the parenthesis. So now here cat means it is a concatenation. Clear this point here? Stircat. Now just simply in simple words we are going to use use as the stircat. The full form of the cat is the concatenation. Okay, concatenate, concatenation here. So what's the meaning of the concatenation? The meaning of concatenation, combining two strings together, that is combining or joining two strings together is known as the concatenation. So one example here, maybe the str1 is equal to key. Clear this point here? str1 ಅನ್ನು ನಾನು ಕೀ ಅಂತ ತಗೊಳ್ತೇನೆ. str2, that is the string 2 is the board. That means it going to concatenate. How it going to concatenate? So here we can say that strcat and later str1 is the key, okay, and later next one str2 is the board here. So finally we'll get the answer in our str1 becomes, or we can say that str1 ಆಗಿ ನಾನು ಕೀ ಅಂತ ತಗೊಂಡಿದ್ದೇನೆ, str2 ಆಗಿ ಬೋರ್ಡ್ ಅನ್ನ ತಗೊಂಡಿದ್ದೇನೆ ನಾನು. ಆದ್ರೆ the uses of the purpose of this stircat, combining two strings together. So here the value of str1 becomes keyboard, but string str2 remain unchanged only. Clear this one? ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಏನು ಚೇಂಜ್ ಆಗ್ತದೆ? str1 ಏನಾಗ್ತದೆ? ಕೀಬೋರ್ಡ್ ಆಗ್ತದೆ. ಆದ್ರೆ str2 remain unchanged, that is equal to board only here. So this is the purpose or uses of the stircat. So ಅರ್ಥ ಆಯ್ತಾ? stircat ಅನ್ನು ನಾವು ಯಾಕೆ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೇವೆ? Maybe just only to combine these strings here, to combine the string 1 to string 2. Okay, so string 1 to string 2 here we are going to combine by using the function like our stircat. Adre string 1 alli keyboard ಆಗ್ತದೆ, string 2 board ಮಾತ್ರ ಉಳಿತದೆ. Clear this one here? Okay, now this is about our stircat. And later next one, stir copy. What about the meaning of the CPY? That is called as the copy. So this function is used to copy one string to another. ನನಗೆ ಈಗ ಒಂದು ಸ್ಟ್ರಿಂಗ್ ಇಂದ ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಸ್ಟ್ರಿಂಗಿಗೆ ಕಾಪಿ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. ಸೊ ಹಾಗಾದ್ರೆ ನಾನು ಯಾವುದನ್ನು ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೇನೆ, ಹೇಗೆ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೇನೆ ಇದರಲ್ಲಿ? ಸೊ ಹಿಯರ್ ವಿ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಸೇ ದಟ್ ವಿ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ರೈಟ್ ದಿ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್. We can write the example for this stir copy. So stir copy, okay, here, and later next one is the name. So str1 I am going to use as the name, and str2 I am going to use as the computer here, computer. And we know that maybe if any group of characters, such character going to enclosed within double quote only, maybe single character single quote we need to use here. So I am using the example of this stir copy strcpy, opening of the parenthesis in double quotation name, closing of the double quotation comma, then again opening of the double quotation computer, closing of the double quotation, closing the parenthesis, and this semicolon. So in this example we can say that it copies the character, our S2 to S1. Clear this one? So now S1 also becomes our computer and str2 also computer only. Clear this point here? ಅರ್ಥ ಆಯ್ತಾ ಎಲ್ಲರಿಗೆ? So here we are going to make the copy from one string to another. So here we are making the copy from string 2 to string 1. ಹಾಗಾದ್ರೆ string 1 ಏನಾಗಿದೆ? string 2 to string 1, string 2 ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಕಂಪ್ಯೂಟರ್ ಇತ್ತು, ಅದನ್ನು ನಾವು ಕಾಪಿ ಯಾವುದಕ್ಕೆ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೇವೆ? string 1 ಗೆ. ಹಾಗಾದ್ರೆ string 1 ಕೂಡ ಏನಾಯ್ತು? ಕಂಪ್ಯೂಟರ್, and string 2 also it becomes the computer only. So we can say that as a CPY is using to copy one string to another. Okay, now after completing stirland, stircat, stir copy, now later next one, the fourth point, that is called as the stircamp. So the CMP, so the full form of this CMP is called as the comparison. Clear this point here? Comparison. And so here we can say that this function is used to compare two strings ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ string 1 ಮತ್ತೆ string 2. Okay, so this function is using to compare two strings here, that is string 1 and string 2 in this case here. So for example here we can say that if string 1 is equal to string 2, that means it will return the value 0. ಯಾವಾಗ ನಮ್ಮ string 1 ಮತ್ತೆ string 2 no any difference, both letter are same, that means it will return the value as the 0. If string 1 is greater than string 2, then it will return positive value. Okay, if string 1 is less than string 2, then it return negative value. Artha aita nimge? Yeah, so now let's by using one example. strcmp, first string 1 name I want to use as India, and second string 2 name also I want to use as India. So here I said the meaning of the CMP. The CMP is using to compare two strings. Okay, just only to make the comparison in between the letter one by one here. So when you are going to take I, no any difference. Small letter N, no difference. D, no difference. I, no difference. A, no difference. So here we can say that when string 1 is equal to string 2, then it going to return the value as the 0. Artha aita ellarige? Ellyaadru ನಮ್ಮ ಡಿಫ್ರೆನ್ಸ್ ಇದ್ರೆ, ಆ ಲೆಟರ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಡಿಫ್ರೆನ್ಸ್ ಇದ್ರೆ ಆಗ ನಾವು ಏನೋ ಒಂದು ಬೇರೆ ರೀತಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವು ರೂಲ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಅದನ್ನು ಫಾಲೋ ಮಾಡ್ತೇವೆ. ಬಟ್ ಇಫ್ ಬೋತ್ ಸ್ಟ್ರಿಂಗ್ಸ್ ಆರ್ ಈಕ್ವಲ್, ಮೇ ಬಿ ಇನ್ ಸ್ಮಾಲ್ ಲೆಟರ್, ಮೇ ಬಿ ಇನ್ ಕ್ಯಾಪಿಟಲ್, ಎನಿಥಿಂಗ್ ಹಿಯರ್. ಸೊ ಜಸ್ಟ್ ಓನ್ಲಿ ಇನ್ ಸ್ಮಾಲ್ ಲೆಟರ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ ಬೈ ಯೂಸಿಂಗ್ ದಿ ನೇಮ್ ಇಂಡಿಯಾ, I given the example for string 1 and string 2, both string are equal here, so it will return the value as the 0. Now let's second example. strcmp, small letter India, but while going to take string 2 I am using IN in a small but D in capital. Did you remember about this one? ASCII value. So the ASCII value, American Standard Code for Information Interchange value, capital letter A 65, capital letter B 66 and capital letter Z 90. Correct, no? Which is numbered sequentially 1 by 1. So number going to move 1 by 1 in this case here. And second, this small letter A 97, small letter B 98 and small letter Z, that is equal to our, we can say about our 122, and lastly the number 0 to 9, that is called as the 48 to 57. Correct, no? So now let's about this one. If string 1 is greater than string 2, so I, no comparison. N, there is no any comparison. But when you are going to take D, that is equal to here small letter A 97, small letter B 98, small letter C 99, small letter D 100. Okay, so I am completed here. The value D is equal to 100, and later here when you are going to take here capital D is that. So the capital D, that means here we can say that the capital D in this case, the capital A 65, capital B 66, capital C 67, but capital D is the 68. Correct, no? 68. So we can say about when string 1 value is 100, string 2 value is 68 here. When string 1 is greater than string 2, string 1 is greater than string 2, then it return positive value. So now we got the value as the 32. Clear this point here? Now we got the value as the 32 in this case here. So this is about our second example. Now let's about the third example for this here. Maybe if you are using that THEIR and here THERE. Okay, so the third example I am providing for our string 1 is less than to string 2, then it going to return the negative value. ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆಯಲ್ಲ? String 1 is equal to string 2, then it returns equal, okay, both string value are same, then it returns 0 value. If string 1 is greater than string 2, it returns positive value. Just only now we got the answer as the 32 positive value. But if string 1 is less, when you are going to compare to string 2, then it returns the negative value. T, no difference. H, no difference. E, there is no any difference, both are there and there in this case. But when you are going to take I, you have to count it, you will get the value as 105 and later R value as the 114. Okay, kya? You have to count it yourself by taking, I already explained, capital A is 65 and capital Z it going to use till 90, small letter A 97 and small letter Z 122 here. So when you are taking the letter I, you will get the value 105, and when you are using the R, but because THE no difference, so we can't take the difference in between these letters here. So we need to take I only, and in other side string 2R 114. So we can say that 105 minus 114. So when you are going to subtract, correct now, this string 1 is less. When you are going to compare with the string 2, string 1 is 105, string 2 is 114. When you are going to compare, it returns negative value. So the negative value will get as the minus 9. Clear this point here? The negative value will get as the minus 9 in this case here. So some of the character function, stirlen, stircat, stircopy, stircap here. So all those functions are called as the string functions. Now after completing some of the string function, now let's some other function also going to join in our string function, and we know that which header file we need to use or we need to require while going to use the function like our string function. The header file name is called as the string.h. Some other function are the stircamp. Okay, so no any point in case of the your first function name is the strcmp. I already explained what's the difference. That means if both strings are equal, it returns 0. If string 1 greater than string 2, it returns positive value. If string 1 is less than string 2, then it's going to return the negative value. But also when you are going to think about strcmpi, so here we can say that in this case here the purpose of this function is used to compare two strings. Okay, here the purpose of the function is using to compare two strings here. That means, but also it is not case sensitive. Clear this one here? Now what's the meaning of the case sensitive? Case sensitive anta helidre, it treats uppercase letter and lowercase letter differently. Okay, but in case of this stircamp, it is not case sensitive. That means maybe capital or small. While going to compare, maybe the one string is capital, the second string is small, there is no any confusion, there is no any comparison. So we can say that such purpose of this string, it is called as the, or the function is called as the, is not case sensitive. Okay, artha aitalla case sensitive hedidre ಏನು? That means it treat the uppercase and lowercase differently, but not case sensitive means here there is no any comparison. It treat the uppercase and lowercase in the similar same manner. Okay, kya? So we can say that, but also in case of this stircamp, we can use if both are equal 0, if string 1 greater than string 2, our positive value, but the string 1 is less than string 2, it returns the negative value, we can say, but also there is no any comparison. Okay, kya? And later next one is the stir reverse. So such function is using to reverse the character in a string here. Maybe if you are going to write stir reverse of top, okay, stir reverse of top, that means it's going to reverse such character of a string to a top to pot. Clear this point here? So just only to reverse the character. So such a reverse STRREV. So string reverse is using to reverse the character. So going to reverse the top to the pot in this case here. Clear this one here? Okay, and later next one is the strupr of string. So this function is using because to just convert the string to a uppercase letter. Okay, it going to convert the string to a uppercase. Maybe if you are using capital letter small as a computer here, it going to return or converting such a small letter computer group of character to the uppercase here. And later next one strlrwr of string, that means here we can say that in this case here it converts the string to a lower case character. Okay, ಯಾವುದು ಸ್ಟ್ರಿಂಗ್ ಅನ್ನು ನೀವು ಅಪ್ಪರ್ ಕೇಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಬರ್ದಿದ್ದೀರಿ ಅದನ್ನು ಜಸ್ಟ್ ಕನ್ವರ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಬಿಡ್ತದೆ ಲೋವರ್ ಕೇಸ್ ಲೆಟರ್ ಗೆ. ಕ್ಲಿಯರ್ ದಿಸ್ ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ here? So all are the function and such function are called as the all are the function and such function also going to join with our string function only. So clear no? So here in our string function we can say that strlen, strcat, strcopy, strcamp, strcampy and stir reverse, stir upper and the stir lower. So clear? Still upper ಅರ್ಥ ಆಯ್ತಲ್ಲ ಎಲ್ಲರಿಗೆ? So converting from our lower case to the upper case, and lower ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ converting from lower case to the upper case, and still upper means converting from our here in this case we can say the strupr means upper. Okay, converting from lower case to the upper case here, and later lwr means lower. So here we can say that in this case about our converting from upper case to the lower case. Clear this point here? Artha aita? Okay, now later next one, the last thing about our some more functions. So the last concept of this chapter, that is the some more function. So the first function name is the getch and second function name is the getche. Okay, so ee function kuda nama program alli use ಆಗ್ತದೆ. So ಯಾವಾಗ ನೀವು ಈ function ಅನ್ನು ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀರಿ ಆಗ ನಮಗೆ ಒಂದು header file ಬೇಕಾಗ್ತದೆ. The header file name is the conio.h, conio.h, conio.h here. So getch. So ಹೇಗೆ ಅದು ವರ್ಕ್ ಮಾಡ್ತದೆ? First of all, let's the syntax. Variable is equal to getch open close semicolon, and the example char ch semicolon, ch is equal to getch open close semicolon. So this is just only the syntax here. Now what's the work of the getch? Okay, so this function is used, or this function returns the character, okay, from the keyboard. That means it going to take the character from the keyboard. ಯಾವುದೇ ಒಂದು character ನಾವು keyboard ಇಂದ press ಮಾಡ್ತೇವೆ. Okay, so it returns the character from the keyboard here, but does not display the character on the screen. Keyboard ಇಂದ ತಗೊಳ್ತದೆ ಆದ್ರೂ ಕೂಡ ಅದು ಡಿಸ್ಪ್ಲೇ ಮಾಡುವುದಿಲ್ಲ. But when it going to display the letter, when you are going to press the enter key. Clear this one? So this is the function of the getch. ಅರ್ಥ ಆಯ್ತಾ ಎಲ್ಲರಿಗೆ? So we can say that it returns the character from the keyboard, or it input or read the character from the keyboard here, and what does not display such character on the screen, but when it going to display such character when you are going to press the enter key. Okay, so this is about our getch. And lastly we can say about our getche. Now the syntax: variable is equal to getche open close semicolon, example char ch semicolon, ch is equal to getche open close semicolon. Just only in examination they are asking the syntax here, but first of all we should know what's the duty, what's the use of such function. First function ಅರ್ಥ ಆಯ್ತಲ್ಲ, getch ಯಾಕೆ ಯೂಸ್ ಆಗ್ತದೆ, ಹೇಗೆ ವರ್ಕ್ ಮಾಡ್ತದೆ. Now let's the second function getche here. So we can say that this function, or we can say in this case here, this function reads the character from the keyboard. So it going to read the character from the keyboard. Correct? Now how you are going to input through the keyboard, it going to accept the character from the keyboard here, and also echoes the character, the meaning of the echo, display the character on the screen, and when you are going to press it display many more character. Okay here? So this is the difference between getch and the getche. ಅರ್ಥ ಆಯ್ತಾ? getch ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ that means it read the character from the keyboard, does not going to display on the screen, but when it you going to display when you are going to press the enter key. getche ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ಏನು? It read the character from the keyboard, but display the character. Correct na kya? Display the character, and when you are going to press enter key, it display again more character from the keyboard, or again more character kiya. So this is the uses of the get ch and the get che. So clear this point here. Now today we completed this concept, that means our the chapter, that is the introduction to C++. Thank you.
Don't forget to like our video and subscribe our YouTube channel for all the updates.